Whoa, did Danny Sheehan just say that the UAP task force is a ruse? It's a scam. It's totally illegitimate. This is huge news. Get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like. Please subscribe and hit the bell to be notified of future videos. And as I'm going through the story, please comment below and let me know what you think. As many of you know, Danny Sheehan is the lawyer of Lou Elizondo, and he's a high-profile lawyer who's been in the UFO game, if you will, for a long time. And he's got some really insightful things to say and some great access to some sources that most of us couldn't get. And he says the UAP task force is a ruse. This is huge. Many of us have high hopes for the UAP task force and whatever is going to transition into. It's going to be a completely different entity at the end of the day. But as pertains to the task force itself, Danny Sheehan has strong words to say about it. So here he is.
What's the chatter? What are you hearing about this report?
Well, the fact is. The fact is, they were never the UAP task force inside the Office of Naval Intelligence has never been a legitimate operation. No, really, I can just tell you, it was never the guy who got assigned was the one person who was put on the staff. You know, didn't even have an office. Didn't even know what he was supposed to be doing. You know, I had lunch with him a number of times, and he was just befuddled. You know, he said, "Wait, what is this? They're talking about having a new UAP task force. There's no UAP task force. There's nothing going on here, you know." And so this bubbling up of, there's going to be a new report about this. You know, what this is the forces inside the military defense establishment were trying to figure out what to do. You know, I mean, they didn't know. You know, I won't say it, but anyway, they didn't know what to do.
Are you suggesting that the ODNI?
Yeah.
Is not communicating with the task force right now, and who did they answer to?
There is no functional task force right now. There's no functional task force at all. It's just a total ruse. You know, they appointed Scott to be the head of the thing. Scott, I don't know if he ever went to the office. You know, I mean, there's nothing happening there because they know that this new office is going to completely supplant anything they do.
You're talking about Scott Bray.
Yeah, that's right. There's nobody's doing anything, you know, and anything that they're doing is not worth paying attention to because all it is obfuscation, you know, still trying to, you know, pretend that they're doing something. But the fact of the matter is this major office that's getting set to be set up here is going to just completely overshadow everything. And as you'll see in the bill itself, the task force is terminated the moment this thing is passed.
There you have it. According to Danny Sheehan, the task force as it currently is a complete ruse. It's a waste of time. Nobody's doing jack. That is, you know, very likely a contributor to why we're not getting the UFO report delivered to Congress in a timely fashion. It was supposed to be delivered a month ago. So happy anniversary. Happy one month anniversary for the proposed release of the UFO/UAP report to Congress. But yeah, so it sounds like nobody is doing anything at the task force or whatever they're calling it now, because they are transitioning, or rather they are being supplanted by an entirely new entity. Call that Arrow or whatever the new name is going to be. It doesn't have a very good an acronym so far. Hopefully people will come up with a way to say that name better. They had to jam a bunch of words in the title so that people like or entities like the Air Force and the Space Force would be forced to give them information. So it has to say aerospace, you know, underwater, you know, etc., in order to get information from these entities, because according to Chris Mellon, in a different interview, he says that, you know, these agencies weren't giving them information because they say, oh, well, it's not in your title. You know, that's why they called it the All Domain Office. That was one of the early names for what the task force is going to become. But that wasn't good enough. All domain was not getting the job done. So now they are very clearly breaking it down, in the title, aerospace, undersea, blah, 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 blah. So that nobody can, have any wiggle room not to share information. The good news is that Danny Sheehan, in this interview with Jimmy Church, and it's a really good interview, I recommend watching it in its entirety. I'll provide a link in the description below. He does praise the new office. He goes into, great length, saying how this was 13 pages of wording for this bill, and it's written by a team that was really interested in not providing any wiggle room for misunderstanding. And as Jimmy Church himself says, and as I've talked about before, the language in the bill actually says point blank, that the new office is only tasked with looking at non-human vehicles or non-human anomalies, if you will. They are not interested in the man-made objects. So anything that is a secret project of the military or possibly some other government will be referred elsewhere. We're only dealing with alien or non-human objects here. It's important to highlight the non-human part, or at least non-terrestrial, I suppose we should say, because when we're dealing with beings like the Nordics or the Pleiadians, as they might be called by some, and that might be who they are more human looking. So we might need another term. Alien is one term we can use. But what if they have been around forever and they are more at home on this planet than we are? That's why the term ultra-terrestrial is appealing. But personally, I just prefer the beings. That's a nice vague term that can encompass anything. It can encompass beings of a higher dimension or a different reality, beings that look human, beings that don't look human, beings that have been around on Earth forever versus beings that are just getting here. Welcome to the party, guys. But yeah, so that's very good news that Danny Sheehan is very high on the new program. He is extolling its virtues. And, that's reassuring because I just made a video a few days ago talking about Ross Coulthardt's reservations about things like the Whistleblower Protection Act, saying that is really a waste of time and a joke. So it's nice to hear somebody who knows something saying something good about the new programs coming out. Danny also talks about the efforts of Lou Elizondo and Chris Mellon to approach Congress and interact with them, and making sure to approach each side of the aisle and making this a bipartisan effort. He also expresses how Congress is very unhappy now that they know they have been lied to for 75 years, and they are really kind of ticked off and wanting to get to the bottom of this. Hopefully that's the case, because we've heard people like, mainly Tim Burchett, the Representative Tim Burchett, express his own dissatisfaction with Congress, saying that people like Marco Rubio, who were originally very gung-ho on the UFO issue and getting to the bottom of it, getting to the truth, are now backing off and not even taking meetings with him. Which one is right? Which one is wrong? Are they both right? Are they both wrong? I guess we'll see in the days ahead. But yeah, for now, it looks like nothing is really going to get done under the auspices of the UAP task force. So we're going to have to wait until the new agency is enacted and, staffed, and things are moving over there before we really see any action. So that makes me think that the UFO report, when it is delivered, is probably going to be pretty much of a nothing burger. Hopefully we'll at least get some statistics and some numbers. Like the early reports had it that they had looked at, 300, 400 cases, and they had said that half of them had been identified, and 49% had not been identified. So, at least we could get numbers like that. That would be interesting and relevant. I'm not really expecting anything more from the report than that. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Please smash the subscribe button and hit the bell so you don't miss a single video. Please join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. And please, if you enjoy these videos, please consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. See the first line in the description below, and there's 2 tiers of membership to receive exclusive access in videos. Until next time, this is Jack with Cosmic Road.